Hello, everybody, and welcome to this rather brief but straight to the point episode. And today we are going to see what I've been doing behind the scenes amongst repairing and installing the interior again, which has been a welcome distraction and an extremely effective one. Aside from the carburetor issues, where the carburetor is refusing to idle without cutting out in park or neutral. In gear, it will work, but when you put it in park or neutral, out of gear, nah, dead. As you've seen in the previous videos. And it stirred my head up as to what it could be, because I've eliminated a lot of faults that actually were existent on the car or very nearly to going, like the air leaks we've discovered. But now we got to the point where, what could it be? I've seen inside the valves, and the valves are quite dirty, and all sorts of things were going through my head because this is just weird. I think it could be quite simple, but we had to go back to square one. Carb had to come off, and Rob, thank you so much. Thanks to Rob, who has loaned me his ultrasonic cleaner, which worked wonders for his fantastic Moo, the red Escort 1.4 that you may have seen in the Christmas episode. That car is now working to an absolute T because of a good tune and a good cleanup in an ultrasonic bath. I've never thought to buy one of these machines. They're quite expensive, but sometimes it's a necessary evil. And he sent me it, and I couldn't wait to play with the new toy. Hey Rob, just an update, buddy. I've had this, this is twice now I've used this now. Don't know why, there seems to be some marks I can't get out, but I've used it quite well. I'll give this a bit of a clean up and wash out. I've just drained the rubbish in, and it's a really good cleaner, this is. And you were right, they're about £140 for a 6 litre version. I found one for about 104, but it's not digital, it's like an analog. Don't really care as long as it does the job, but this has certainly done the job because this is sediment. And what I have done is I've washed this out with water. It's cleaned it up a lot better than what I could possibly clean it up, and it gives me a lot of confidence because I've put water into all the jet ways, and there's water coming out of the holes in the Venturis, so that gives me confidence now that things are really good. Even this is cleaned up well. I'm really impressed, so I'm just going to give this a bit of a clean now and reassemble tonight, and just clean this up because I don't think I'm going to be needing this again. I hope not, but it seems that this machine really works a treat, because all this, I don't know where it's come from. I've put a number of different things in, so it might have come from them instead of the body, but I put only the body in yesterday. I didn't put all this stuff in because I thought I'd do all the rest of it. But there was this amount of rubbish that came out of there. And well, it's been there twice now. I don't think I need to put it through again because I've actually put it on a high temperature, about 80 degrees. It actually went up to 90, strange enough. It went more than what I set it at. And I left it for about 2 hours. God knows my electricity bill, but I think it's probably worked a treat, and I don't think I need to do it again. So fingers crossed. So there you go. So the carb has gone in, and it's been in twice now, and there has been some rubbish that has been cleaned, namely yellow sandy petrol remnants at the bottom where the jets sit in the well of fuel, which you can't clean. I can't physically get to it. There's no way you can blast it out with air. And also the suspicion was a blocked idle circuit, and we're talking about a pinhole airway. That is literally all we're talking about, and if a little bit of rubbish gets in there, it will affect the idle, and therefore with these carburetors in particular being extremely sensitive emission lean burn carburetors, 2030s don't like that. So let's see what the results are. I have put it all back together. It's on the car. Let's go. Right, here we go again. So, carburetor back into place. Okay, so I'm just gonna pop that down. Okay, and just gonna put one of these screws back in. I just want that screw in there to hold it down so it doesn't, none of this moves. Okay, so everything has been adjusted correctly. Now, what I have done is I've just tweaked the timing back. Unfortunately, we have had a bit of a casualty. If I just show you down here, the blooming dizzy clamp, part of it has snapped off around the bolt. Ugh, that's a real pain, but it doesn't matter because I've got this one acting, and I think that one is still clamping, but it just seems that the metal's gone a bit frail around the edges. So I've got the parts number for this dizzy if I have to get a second-hand one, but hopefully not. I've now set it up again. We are exactly 10 degrees in terms of the timing before top dead center. Now, I was given a very nice comment by a lovely chap who mentioned that 8 degrees, they don't really like them. And it is a base setting. And to be fair, this is running on super unleaded V-Power. So, and it won't run on any other fuel. I will not put cheap fuel in this. You're asking for problems. I'm getting dirt issues and petrol rubbish coming through with, well, what I think is remnants of the old fuel coming through, which is why we're having issues, I think. But the ultrasonic cleaner will prove this point. But now we're going to go in. Now, I have brought with me Holt's cold start. It's basically easy start, but I don't need that. You don't need that with this, because effectively, I will point out before, I just put the Gunson colour tune back into number 1 while we do this, but it's all set up. The choke is adjusted properly. The choke plate is completely closed and the choke is off. So off we go. Fingers crossed. Now, we don't need easy start because effectively, if you do this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's it. No more than a few pumps. That has effectively pumped a bit of fuel straight in. Okay, lovely. Right, we've got a good crank, full choke. Oh, straight away. And the RPMs have got up to 1800 on full choke. Bit of a splutter. That might have been the fuel I pumped straight in there. Okay, good. Well, we got it started, that's the main thing. Okay. Right, we're going to leave it to warm up. Ooh, the smell of the 1980s. Okay, so my choke is 3/4 of the way in. I think it's running a bit rich. That's why it's so easy to run on the choke. Lower it down, it's just dipping to 1200. I'm going to keep it at 1200 and let it get up to temperature. Smell is just petrol and oil, just a little bit. So far so good. Okay, so you can see and observe we've got about just over 1000 RPM and it's running very, very happy at the moment. She is entering into the wall. I'm now going to take the choke off. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it some gas just to even it out. 3, 2, 1, and release. Where does it drop? So running on the high side at idle. I do think being an automatic, it does enjoy being slightly higher than the manuals. I've been told to ignore the base settings in the manual as a guide, use them as a guide, but it's what your car is happy with, and this car is certainly happy idling about 1,000 or fractionally over. Now we're getting into the warm. This is where we put it into gear. Oh, it's gone down to, oh, the idle has dropped to about 850, I would say, in reverse. Let's put it in drive. Oh dear, didn't like that. Okay, that idle in drive is a bit lower, about 750. That's weird. That's a new behaviour now. It seems to drop at about 300 RPM in gear, but if I put it into neutral, about 1,000 RPM. That's rather interesting. So the idle speed has to be a little bit hot. Basically, the idle speed is 300 RPM higher in out of gear than in gear. That's rather interesting, but that's steady. We're getting to temperature, and I'll come back when we've got to sort of the middle. I need to see that the thermostat is opening and the hoses are getting hot. We can put a bit of the heating on, should I? No, we're nowhere near there yet. Right, I'm gonna have to cut this episode short because it's now decided to rain, but I can honestly say it's running well. A little bit on the rich side, as you can just about see in there. Yeah, it's a bit rich, but actually it's all good. Got a bit of an oil leak going on down here. I think the Dizzy is leaking a bit of oil at the Dizzy flange, but I'll sort that out. I'll have to take the Dizzy off and watch I don't snap anything else. But apart from that, she's running nicely. Little bit, well, it is a cold morning to be fair, but it looks really good. Now the idle is a little bit high, about 1100 RPM, but it's got to temperature. I've had a bit of a tweak with the mixture. I still need to do some fine fettling, but in gear 900 RPM. Yeah, in drive fractionally lower in drive than in reverse, and we are properly to temperature. Put it in neutral, it goes up to 1,000 RPM, but that's fine. I can live with that as long as it stays in gear. It's really happy, it's really smooth. That ultrasonic cleaner has worked an absolute treat on this carb. Now I need to go and buy my own, because I've got a feeling that if I'm keeping this car long term, which is my plan now, I'm going to need an ultrasonic cleaner, possibly every so often, to keep this carburetor in good shape. These carburetors, these 2830 DFTMs, are not particularly renowned for their reliability, which is strange because I thought Weber's were better, but they are when they work, and this one now is functioning and behaving a lot better, and the car is happier, and I'm quite happy with an idle speed like that, even though I would say I would preferably want it to be at 1,000. I'll see if I can get it to be 1,000 RPM at idle. What do you guys think? Has anybody got their opinions on this? But I'm going to switch off because it's absolutely hurling it down, and leave you there. I'm so sorry for this rather rushed quick episode, but yeah, she's got to temperature. We've got a new oil leak that I've now discovered, so I'm gonna have to take the Dizzy off very carefully and recheck that, but it's all good. The timing will be set up with the marks, and it all looks good. It's really good. I'm very pleased with what I see, and the car's happy, and as I don't really care that the idle is a little bit high, because with these kind of carburetors you kind of have to play to their tune a little bit, and I've now found a place where it's most happy. So before it was idling a bit lower, but the truth is it's absolutely fine. there's no hunting, there's no cutting or stalling. So whatever crappy fuel I am presuming it's crappy fuel that's still going through that tank. The fuel that I had in the car when I bought the car for Rob, we think had been in the car for 12 months. Hence the sand in the carb. Anyway, I'm going to leave this with you because I am determined now that this car will pass an MOT. So that might be the next episode. We'll see. Take care, guys. There's an oil leak there. I'll just put a bit of sealant around this seal that's failing to seal. Good day.